Hello, families. Good morning. It's 10:40 this morning. I had some questions about some work that we've sent home and how to teach your kids and stuff like that. So I wanted to do just a short little video. This is only for parents. I mean, if your kids want to watch it with you, that's fine. But I want to kind of teach you some things that might be helpful at home and some teacher tricks kind of things. And if you know some of these, that's great, and I hope you do know them. But if not, I hope you learned something today. So the first thing that I'm going to talk to you about is working with manipulatives with your kids and how best to do that when you're working with kids, especially with disabilities. So one of the first things that I'm going to show you a clip of what this looks like, and I'm going to talk to you about why it works. So when you're working with manipulatives, we use like stones, but you could do anything like beads, beans, cookies or Skittles or something that they like, or just anything we like these because they're bigger, so they're easier to work with, but you can pick anything around your house. So when you're doing symbol worksheets, and I'll write on there like with calculator or manipulatives. I would obviously prefer if you use manipulatives, but it's okay if you don't. So here's what we do in here. You can do this on a sheet of paper or a whiteboard. We use whiteboards, but that's just because we have them at our access. So let's say we're doing 4 plus 2. So you write the number at the top, and then you count out 4 stones with your kids. So your kids would count out 1, 2, 3, 4. And they would say what number that is, and then you could say, okay, count out 4, and they would obviously do that and put them in here. So your kid is doing all of these things. You're just kind of facilitating it. So you would say, what number is this? Okay, that number's 2. You would count out 1, and then your kid would place 2. Obviously correct them if they're wrong. When you've got all of your stones and your kid can see that it's 4 plus 2, then you would have them, if it's an addition problem like I just showed you, you would just say, okay, we'll count all of the stones, and then just have them start with one of the boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another trick you can do is you can have a little side box or circle, it doesn't really matter, and you can move the stones all together to show that it's all together. So that's for addition. Let me show you really quick if we were going to do subtraction really fast, because it's different. It won't work if you do subtraction that way because you're taking away. So let's say the same problem. So we're doing 4 minus 2 now. So your kid could count out 4 here. So you have something that looks like this, like 4 minus 2. And then you draw a circle or square, whatever makes sense for them. Sometimes my kids get confused because they think that's 0. So you may want to do a square, but have them count out the 4 stones. And then you say, okay, take 2 away. And then they count how many is left in that circle or square. And then that would show them. Again, you could draw another little box over here and say, okay, move these over here. And that's how much is left over. You could even do like an equal sign like this. Let me show you. Sorry, it's hard to try to show you something on the table and moving back to the computer. So we have 4 stones minus 2, and then you could show a little box over here, and that would be their answer. And they would have 2 stones right here. Okay, so that's kind of how you can work with manipulatives. Again, you can use that on a sheet of paper and just put the numbers at the top. Or you could get a whiteboard. I have whiteboards. If you need to check one out from us, we can do that. So my second tip is if you're working on a worksheet, I'm just going to use this as an example. Okay, so you've got a whole word bank up here, and it's got a lot of words, and you're going through and you're reading with the kids, and that's fine if you read them. But what you could do is you could put 2 answer choices over here. So I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show you another trick with this one. So let's say responsible and kind. Okay, so beforehand, whenever you're doing this with your kid, you could just pick 2 answer choices over here. One's correct, obviously one's wrong. So that's your options for your child. That kind of helps you and it kind of helps them. That way you're not going back all the way through the word bank and giving them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 options versus just 2 options. You could make it 3 if you feel like your kid can choose from a field of 3, then you could do 3. Most of our kids do 2 though. Another thing you can do when you're doing a lengthy worksheet like this, it's a really simple tip for young kids or special ed, you cover half the page up. So if this is too overwhelming to look at for them, just cover it up. And then as you're working through, just move it down. And you can use a sheet of paper or something like that, just something, preferably something with contrast, usually a different color sheet of paper, construction paper, something like that. So it drastically blocks out the rest of the sheet. Okay, another thing you can do, which this is a really simple, and this is probably something you already know, highlighters. You can highlight keywords, or you can highlight the picture, like if you're looking at something and you want them to focus on one aspect in that, just take a highlighter and just highlight it. Again, if you need one, just let me know. We've got tons. Is there anything else that we want to share with them? Okay. We just wanted to send you a quick little video of some things. Again, if you need to borrow a whiteboard, just let me know, and we have tons here. I would love to get those back though. They're pretty expensive. So if you need one, let me know, but text me, email me if you have any more questions, and we can answer anything you guys need. We love your students. We hope you know that. We hope you have a great day. Bye guys.